Religious reform movements. Religious reform movements. I agree to say, said Ram Mohan Roy in 1828, that present system of religious adhere to by Hindu is not well calculated to promote their political interest. The distinctions of caste introduced innumerable divisions among them, which has deprived them of patriotic feelings. It is, I think, necessary that some change take place in their religion, as at least for the sake of their political advantage and social comfort. The social reform movements of 19th century were essentially top-down led movements. The social base for their movements were the emerging middle class and traditional and western educated intellectuals motivated by the virtue of the rationality, reason and individualism and humanism. Some of them were Raja Ram Mohan Roy, Bengal Brahmo Samaj 1828, Pratana Samaj in Maharashtra and Arya Samaj in Punjab and North India, Satyaswadak Samaj Jyotiba Phule, Sri Narayan Dharma Paripalana, SNDP in Kerala, Alipur Ahmadiyya movement amongst Muslim, Rahnumai Mujahida Srin Sabha amongst the Parsis. The socialist reform movements argued for a number of causes: uh, liberalization of Hindu Widow Remarriage Act 1856, Ishwar Chand Vidyasagar Vishnu Shastri Pandit Widow Remarriage Association, the mobilization of sati and female infanticide, abolition of untouchability, uh, abolition of the sati and female infanticide, abolition of the untouchability, prohibition of the child marriage 1872, B.M. Malabari, Age of Consent Act 1891, less than 12 years girls, Sarda Act in 1930, less than 14 years girls, and less than 18 years for male, stressing the need of women education. Given the interconnection between religious beliefs and social practices, religious reforms was a necessary prerequisite for social reforms. Reform movements, rationalism, and universalism. They challenged the unquestioned acceptance of religious beliefs and argued for the nationalist critique of the religion, questioned the practice of traditional um, rituals in the light of nationality, questioned the practice of polytheism, idolatry, idea of religion, religious sanction for practice of the untouchability. Revival movement. The revival movements strongly opposed such reform movements, which were backed by the colonial government and apprehended to be a surrender in colonial government by the nationalists. Revivalism was marked by the conceptualization of a glorious and religious past which had degenerated under British rule. Indian nationalists invoked the past as an alternative of the colonial ruler and aimed to provide for a viable cultural foundation of the nationhood. Such revival movements were marked by the use of religious symbols for political mobilization, revival movements, and critiques. Tilak Tilak opposition to the passage of Age of Consent Bill 1891. Ganpati and Shivaji festivals. These festivals acted as important vehicle for disseminating revolutionary political ideas and training of social cadres. Cow protection movement. uh, Gaurakshani Sabha, started by the Arya Samaj in 1870s, converted it into an organized all India sentiment. Hindu-Urdu controversy. In 1890s in Punjab, northwest frontier provinces, Banaras, Madan Mohan Malviya argued for an equal status of Nagari as compared to Urdu. Resolution passed in 1900. The Suddhi movement, led by the Arya Samaj and Talibag and Tanjim movement, led to the communal polarizations. Critique. The revivalist tone of the cultural nationalism and the overt use of the Hindu religious symbols for the political mobilization alienated Muslims and lower caste, and this nationalism, which grew in the strength of in early 20th century, was beset with contradictions from the beginnings. Some sample questions. The socio-cultural regeneration of 19th century India had occasioned by the colonial presence, but not the created by it. Analyze. The 19th century reform movements envisioned neither a revival of past nor a or total outbreak with tradition. Comment. The social reform movements of the 19th century moved away from the universal universalist orientation with and metamorphosed into religiously particularistic ones. Critically analyze.